Well, here I am making a video for Big Ben, hoping to get him interested, and maybe he'll come on over and give this a whirl. Maybe I'll make him smile. I know it kind of terrifies me half the time, to be honest. There's a lot going on with this game. Quite simply, the most difficult racing game I've ever played. One of the reasons that is because I've gone ahead and we've got it so that I've got the settings so that the physics are maxed out. So because of that, it does some things such as it separates braking. If in the simpler settings, the front brakes are paired with the rear brakes. This case, I've got rear brakes set to a separate button, and I will say that kind of confounds me. So here we are. Try to make this quick. I know Ben's a busy man. Hopefully he'll take the time though to watch this because I'm I think he might find this interesting. So this is the first bike that you get, pretty much, or at least you have a choice of 3. I chose that one. 133 pp. If we look at any one of them, you can see that there's quite a bit of customization that occurs. This bike has been maxed out with cylinder header porting. Went ahead with electronic control unit, air filters. Occasionally you have to change the oil because as Jimmy will tell you, you got to change the oil every time. One thing I am wondering about in this is I don't really understand the difference between a 525 VX versus a 520 VX2, say, and or a 525 VZMX. They all look the same to me. I don't really see a performance difference, so maybe that's something Ben can help me with. But we do know that those yellow gold chain ones are pretty pricey. Certainly, bet Ben would be wishing that he's only paying 50 credits. The credits are certainly not equate to dollars. And I usually go with just a standard gearbox. That's pretty expensive. They do allow you to do the final gear, much like in real life. So you don't have to get into the guts of the bike to change, your overall top speed or quick shifters installed. Brakes and suspension. Went ahead and did braided brake lines, some nice Brembos, better pads. One of the intriguing things about this too, this is only a single rotor in the front, but for example, the brake lines can all be modified. There's 2 variants, and you can change the colors of them. We can see the color switch in here, so pretty neat to be able to. It all costs a little bit of money. Most of the cosmetic stuff is actually pretty cheap. Change the livery, and also this allows you, one thing that's really unique about this game is you can change, say, the gear, like the handlebar colors, and say I have just stock ones of these on, which is surprising. I would have thought I'd max this out, but this is purely cosmetic. But for example, you could change those for 150 bucks, credits that is. And what's intriguing is when you're in first person view, which I prefer, in fact first helmet view, it actually changes the look on screen, so that's something I haven't seen before. In this case, I didn't change the triple tree because it's obscured, so the triple tree clamp. But this bike is pretty neat, and it got me through a lot of my first races. And then you start getting into some others, and that's where this game starts getting terrifying. In fact, I did my best to find Ben's bike, the Ninja ZX-10R. If I've got that wrong, there were a number of years to choose from, but I think I got that right. So these are all bikes that are actually in my stable. This is my first naked bike that I found some success with. I've sold some. The GSX-R I was nervous of, but I've got that thing tamed. It's a pretty bad machine. That also meets 2 requirements. We'll see that in a moment. I'm trying to make this quick, Ben. I know you're busy. This is the bike I just purchased. This is one that you can upgrade to, quote, R status, racing status, and this is one I have not modified at all, but just won through by doing an invitational. So let's just, for example, we'll go throw down the Gixxer. I am trying to work my way up to doing Ben's bike, which is that ZX-10. I also modified this hell out of that ZX-10, so that thing is a monster right now. Truly, just simply terrifying. If we take a look though at the dealership, we can visit the manufacturers, and we get to see the various ones available. Quite a few to select from. I'm not sure if we could find his old Ducati, the Scrambler, pretty awesome. Now these are ones that I'd have to buy an additional pack for, which I wasn't willing to do. Money's tight right now. So, but all kinds of bikes, as you can see. I think this is one I saw at the last race. Pretty badass. And so it just goes on and on with the listing of them. And Ben, if you ever want to come on over, you are got a perpetual invitation to come on over. I know this is simply a game. I like to think of it as a simulation. Certainly wouldn't hurt for just keeping you kind of at least visualizing speed and perceiving lines. That's one of the concessions I made. So the complete list, let's see if it just shows us. And we can go through. And Ben would probably recognize half of these just in a moment. If I didn't make it clear, Ben's actually a motorcycle racer, superbike, licensed, and he's badass. And so I thought this might intrigue him. I certainly enjoy the game just on its own right, in its own merit, but I'm sure this would make him chuckle if he were to come on over sometime. He's a busy man though, he really hustles. Always looking to, this is the off season right now, so he's really doing everything he can to pony up the money for another season. Hopefully this season's going to be better than ever. But you get the gist. I mean, there's just a lot of bikes. Rep us all. That's an inside joke. That drives me crazy. But that's easy to do. I think I irritate him pretty easily. That's okay though. Oh boy. Yeah, it just goes on and on, right? Try and make this quick, Ben. I know, but I figure you can at least donate 20 minutes of your life. Oh, gee whiz. Dare we? Let's just speed this up, right? We just get it oh my god. It just goes on and on, right? So, pretty amazing. All kinds of customizations. And then, if you knew Ben, you'd want to be just like him. So I went ahead and I put myself in as Ben Jones. I'm going to try to represent him well. I'm not playing international like on the internet yet, but there I am. There he is, Ben Jones. And there weren't many choices. So he's white, in real life, so he's white in this game. But yeah, that's my goal. Oh, and then the team is S Adrenaline. That is because there weren't enough. The field wasn't long enough to put in Southern Adrenaline. And if you get a chance, if you're watching this, I do highly recommend you check out southernadrenaline.net. It's his business, and it's a great opportunity to get to know him a little bit better, and leave a message. You'll be able to see really the high standard that he holds for himself and others. So let's see. We'll get into at least moving the bike about, huh? All right, quick mode. We'll just go do a time trial. I'm sure I'm going to crash 50 times. This is a neat little track, but if we were to go look at tracks, and this is probably as intriguing to Ben as anything, is we've got 2 tracks, 6 tracks. So Nürburgring, pretty awesome. Quite the, and you can see these variations. So there's the Grand Prix circuit and different weather conditions, rain and such. And then we go quickly. You can see 2 track variations. So we got, I think, Macau. So we can just quickly. There are not as many as these, so I'm going to go a little slower. I'm sure a couple of these have to interest Ben, right? Because that's my primary audience. If you're listening to this, I was gonna make this private, but the opportunity to kind of expose a couple people to southernadrenaline.net, and this one's 6 different tracks and variations. I have done very few of these, really. I haven't been able to spend much time on these, but pretty badass. So, with that being said, though, this Ulster reminds me of TT, full circuit. First time I did this one was a couple days ago, and whew, the perception of speed is pretty incredible. So 1998 750 Gixxer. Let's see if we can't. Now I have been finding that I'm finally getting accustomed to not pulling wheelies. You do have to transition and push your weight forward and back as needed. and it's all you can do to kind of keep this bike on the ground. Even more so Ben's bike, which we might give a whirl here in a minute, but I will suck at immeasurably. So this is just a time trial. Auto drive. And I'm doing my best to, it's very subtle controls. And probably one of the most difficult things of this compared to driving a car, racing game, is the notion of pre-leaning. Whoa! Well, that was not, wow. Yeah, so normally I would have to change my pants, and I'd probably quit racing that day after that. Helmet view, I think it's the most immersive. Oh, I deserve that. Now, due to the difficult, a little nasty there. I'm really forcing this front end down as best I can too. You wouldn't think so. You'd think I'm trying to show off, which I had once thought Ben was doing more than once when the front end would lift off, and he explained to me, "No, I'm fighting the bike the entire time." I get a better sense of what he's talking about. Now these race lines I've left on, I enjoy them. I think they could aid Ben in practice and just kind of perception of lines. Obviously Ben will probably hold this game in contempt because it's just that. I struggle with that turn there. You can hear, and I'm speed shifting, which in some of these cases just slamming it into gear, and you really feel it, so you can't get away with that on turns and such. It really jostles the bike. You can hear the, oh, alright, so here's my secret weapon. You actually have a rewind button, and this was first came out with the game Grid. It was much needed because of its difficulty. It's kind of an art in trying to find where you're going to rewind. You can turn that off for additional credits, but I find it to be this game to require it. Oops, started pulling up there. Oftentimes I have to stand when I play this game because I lean back and forth like crazy. Just kind of the immersion so deep. I'm not sure where I was going there. Kind of wiggle wobbling. There's a nasty like U-turn in this map, and here we are. I actually got first place on this with a countless rewinds, but eventually I do get in the groove. It takes me about 20 minutes to really warm up, and the big part of it is anticipating the map. Kind of get, like I said, there's times when you really gotta, I don't know, I use the word pre-lean. I'm sure there's a better word for it. But you have to anticipate. So doing chicanes and doing some threading can be difficult, you know. Certainly trying to get that bike. And I imagine the game's fidelity and physics engine is really bar none. Alright, there's a bit of a severance there in the, had a technical difficulty, didn't have my settings proper. So my last video stopped, and I edited it down a little bit, trying to make this concise. But everybody wants to see what does Super Ben's Superbike do, and that would be the ZX10. So let's give it a whirl. I do not believe I'm going to do so well on this. I'm going to rewind the crap out of it. But if you've ever been to the racetrack with Southern Adrenaline, you'll recognize this sweet machine. I do prefer his new blue color. Really makes him stand out, makes it a lot easier for me to catch him, you know, and kind of see him and try to photograph him. That's not so easy either. But yeah, he's never named it, so I wouldn't dare, but I don't know, it's a thing of beauty right there. So let's do this. This is going to be Nürburgring, which is of course iconic and classic, right? And we'll see if we can't keep this bike down on the ground, because it is no joke, folks, I'll tell you. I can do to keep this thing down. This has been built up a bit. Ported engine, mufflers. Yeah, that's a good example. You can't really hit this thing too hard. Let's see if we can't get right in there. Now there are different settings. There's 4 different settings for suspension, which is I've never seen on any other video game. So on both front and back, but you have dampening and preload and some of the other things that Ben's tried to explain to me, and I'm starting to learn, but I don't really mess around with the suspension. I have found sometimes softening it won't allow me. Oh, come on now. Come on, can't we get along? Alright, here we go. Yeah, so if you're not interested in, if you're ever interested, I should say, come on out. We're in northern Texas, and I'm just really blessed to be able to be part of a team when I'm able. It's a really great atmosphere, great camaraderie. You gotta come out and meet Rusty. Big shout out to Rusty, one of my favorite humans. He's actually just a solid guy, really, and don't know what we would do without him. Oh, here we go. I don't want to rip it up too hard. See if we can't get this thing up to 150 at least. I'm not really sure my speed. I can't make it out. It's on the bottom right. You know, you can just feel that suspension compressing. Well, that invalidates my record. Not that I was going to break one. I'm really modulating the gas though. This bike is just such a monster. It's really above my skill level. Oh, I deserve that. It really is above my skill level. I just simply don't know how Ben keeps this thing upright. As they say, keep the shiny side up. So yeah, there's online play, and play other humans. This is all just AI right now, artificial intelligence. And boy, there's not much of a straightaway on Nürburgring, huh? Let's see if we can at least. You can see I'm really struggling with this. Whoa, the front end getting all wibbly wobbly on me. Ben has the universal symbol for that where he cranks his hands. I'm pretty sure it means 6 different things, but I give him shit. I kid. Anyways, kind of losing the eye of the tiger here. I feel like I'm going slower and slower. Well, I don't think there's half a gear. Apparently I would try to get down into half gear if I could. Well, I'm in last place, so I'm clearly not a contender. This is a track that'd be pretty difficult to memorize. Because, we could rewind, but doesn't matter. I think you get the gist. The bike's just an insane bike. And there's other bikes too. This is by no means the most intense motorcycle in the video game. There are some real serious machines. I just, as of yet, don't have the skill to really make use of it. I'm getting there, but maybe that's my time right there. So, anyways, we're going to stop this segment, and I do want to thank anybody who's watching now. And if you would, please like and subscribe. That would help me. And please give a check out southernadrenaline.net. We've got a great clothing line with some great action-oriented sportswear and Also, check out industrial hearing protection and monitors, all done by Ben. He's an accredited technician. He'll do customized fitting for you, and keeps the cost low, and I think a great cause. You'll be helping a great cause. That is Team SouthernAdrenaline.net. Alright, well, this is as good a time as any. Listen to that thing purr, huh? I would say it sounds pretty accurate, too, having started that bike a couple times. Anyways, thank you. I'll see you soon.